This week in Jamaica Now, son allegedly kills mother and father in Portmore. 13 guns seized, alleged gangster cut down in gated Trelawny community. The commissioner says criminals are now exploring new strategies to stay under the radar.
Gunmen are moving uptown.
Another lottery scam clampdown, a woman is arrested. How 2 COVID-positive Costa Ricans played against the Reggae Boyz in Kingston, what the JFF is doing about it. Coming soon, DPP says report into cutting of the locks of Rastafarian woman in police custody now 95% complete. And
2 young men, blank them man, say them have to save this man. Jump up on the post and go up there and hold up the man's head for the longest while.
Residents come to the rescue of a JPS contractor electrocuted in Arnett Gardens. I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. The 24-year-old son of a Portmore couple is now in jail for the murder of his mother and father. 69-year-old Cecil Ramsey, a minister of religion and a painting contractor, and 55-year-old Phyllis Ramsey, the acting vice principal of the St. Andrew Preparatory School, were killed sometime after 4 o'clock on Friday morning. Their throats were slashed. The police later arrested their son, Simeon, after a car crashed in Dunbeholden near the crime scene. The police report that they received a call and went to Phoenix Park in Dunbeholden in Portmore and spoke with security guards about a Toyota Axia motor car registered to Phyllis Ramsey that was abandoned in the community. They say the vehicle was searched and blood was found inside. The police say the suspect was later found wandering inside the community and he was apprehended. According to the police, during an initial interview, he told cops that he had stabbed and killed his parents. The police then escorted the suspect to the home on Antares Avenue in Christian Meadows, where the bodies of his parents were found inside the house. Gleaner reporter Andre Williams visited the community and joins us now for more on this story. Andre, how has the community been dealing with this news?
Well, the residents say they are shocked, extremely shocked is the word they used. They said they didn't see it coming, even though the young man would have exhibited some strange behaviors weeks leading to this morning's attack. Behaviors such as he withdrew himself from social media. One resident told me that he swapped his smartphone for a banger so that he could only communicate with family and take himself away from social media, as I said earlier. They said that he was speaking strangely. One comment I made note of was that a neighbor said that he said, "I'm gonna stop study because God are gonna make all the information just come to me." And so she said she was a bit, thrown off by it, but not putting too much into it.
You also went to the Andrews Prep School where Mrs. Ramsey was a vice principal and her son was an assistant teacher. How are the staff there holding up?
All right, so a young woman came to me. She was teary-eyed. She said that they were locked away in grief counseling with the chaplain of the school. The security guard, who would have known the vice principal very well, she was distraught. She said, "Look, I don't think nobody can speak to you right now. Me weak like a rat."
Thank you very much, Gleaner reporter Andre Williams. In Western Jamaica Now, the police this week seized 13 guns, including 10 high-powered rifles, during an operation in the Florence Hall housing scheme. 36-year-old Kevin Carpenter, an alleged gangster, was shot dead. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson said the operation by the Area 2 Police Fugitive Apprehension Team is a continuation of a crackdown on guns, gunmen, and gangs. He also released a video saying gunmen are moving uptown.
They have acquired wealth and are living in gated communities. This is why it is important for persons, even in upscale communities, who see strange activities or persons to provide information to the police.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced a new Get the Guns campaign that will see people getting from $250,000 to $500,000 for illegal guns. Meanwhile, one woman was arrested in a 5-hour anti-lottery scamming operation in Cambridge, St. James on Thursday. The police say several lead sheets, a cellular phone, and sheets containing information for banking cards were also seized during a search of the premises. Last year, the task force carried out 166 operations and raids and arrested 54 persons. 48 of them were charged and 14 have been convicted. Jamaican lottery scammers have been tricking foreigners into sending money here to collect winnings in sweepstakes they never entered. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, says her ruling in the case of the cutting of the locks of Rastafarian and Zinga King is now 95% complete. According to the DPP, she is only awaiting the result of a forensic examination she had requested. Llewellyn says Indicom has made the request of the Government Forensic Laboratory. She said once the report is received, the legal opinion will be completed in a day or two, and she will recommend that it be made public. King alleges that her dreadlocks were cut by a policewoman while she was in custody at the Four Paths police station in June last year. Her father, Anthony King, says the wait for the ruling has been painful.
I don't feel good enough. Nah, tell you no lie, I don't feel good. This thing is like it a draw out. I don't know if it's but I don't feel good.
I will only say that justice delayed is usually justice denied. It's very unfortunate that it's taking so long, and especially in light of the fact that she has named her perpetrator. She is a victim, and at this point she doesn't feel like a victim, as aspects of the investigation or the requisition for coming to a conclusion of the investigation is very much centered in around making her look like an accused person, which is most unfortunate. But she maintains that her hair was cut by that particular officer who is being protected.
The Jamaica Football Federation is awaiting a response to its complaint to FIFA that the Costa Rica football team used 2 COVID-positive players in Wednesday's match against the Reggae Boyz. JFF Medical Committee Chairman Dr. Guyan Arscott says 6 persons from the Costa Rican delegation had tested positive, 3 players and 3 officials. And he said the medical team recommended that the players be isolated or not be allowed to play. But Costa Rican football officials say they went ahead and used 2 COVID-positive players because there was no objection from a Jamaican health authority or a football authority. The leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, has intervened to quench tempers in the North East St. Ann constituency. On Thursday, supporters protested, demanding the removal of Marcia Smith as their Member of Parliament. They trampled on shirts bearing her image and also padlocked the gates to her constituency office.
Take for yourself. Take for yourself. Follow the chief and take for yourself. Let's Robbie
JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang says the party welcomes the willingness of supporters to engage in a positive and meaningful process of dispute resolution. Efforts to contact Smith for a reaction have been unsuccessful. 30-year-old Kemar Doggy Campbell of Arnett Gardens in Kingston is being hailed a community hero. On Wednesday, he mounted a utility pole to the rescue of a Jamaica Public Service Company JPS contractor electrocuted by power lines in the community. Campbell, a resident of 8th Street in the Kingston 13 community, was inside his home about 10 o'clock when screams were heard, alerting him to the unfolding tragedy. After rushing outside, he saw Ainsley Scott on fire atop a light pole, hanging upside down and helpless. With no prior knowledge of or training in electrics, the humble upholsterer sprang into action to assist the man unknown to him. The man was rushed to hospital.
It's almost an hour before we get a brigade truck, and when them come, them never have no ladder. They don't have a bucket to go up there. The fire brigade people them don't call a bucket to save the man's life.
And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. Like this video on our YouTube page. Subscribe today and turn on your notifications. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, more from Arnett Gardens in Kingston, where a community hero rescued an electrocuted JPS contractor.
I hear blow. Then most of me have done run, come out and see the van. By the time I look out, I see. The second I drop off a light post after I did it, I see him sure it. Drop, they ask me if him not help him virgin down. I'm saying him not help him down. So I want to leather. And drop the leather 2 shots. I'm telling reverse the van. and put it on top of the van and go up there. I go up there now, realize say, nah, I've nothing to roll him. I come back down and go for my sound box rope, and tie around him and go back up there. So cut the wire, but if you cut the wire at the time, the belt from around him, if you cut it, he might go drop. They are wait for more help to come hold the rope. So take it down, then fire truck come, it feed them leather, and everybody come in, more leather, cut the rope and draw and let him down.